the day. All right, this is the first ever Muni-Lot Madness podcast. Cleveland sports, uncut, unfiltered, for the fans, by the fans. All right, let me just introduce the team real quick. So my name is John Callahan. I reside in LA. Grew up in Ohio for the majority of my life. We got Kevin Callahan, my brother, back in Ohio. John Morgan, an Ohio resident. Joe Ritner, up in Cleveland, an Ohio resident. And not here, we got Brendan. He'll be joining us later in future episodes.
Let's go.
Yeah, so this is it. So Deshaun Watson. So obviously we don't have news today, and by the time you're watching this podcast, we might have news, we might not. Training camp would have started, but right now we're still awaiting Sue L. Robinson's decision on what action to take. So what do you guys think as far as Deshaun and the whole allegation lawsuit?
Well, obviously, when you look at it from a wide perspective, it's clearly one of the most, if not the most controversial trades and re-signing in sports history, really. It goes up there with some of the most wild ones ever. Obviously, there's a big portion of NFL fans and Browns fans who are clearly split on it. You can't really tell anybody how they should feel. They're all justified. It's some dirty stuff.
Well, I think we know how you feel.
Yeah, but as you can see, I'm riding with my quarterback.
He's got it in the bag.
I'm riding with my quarterback. And I want everyone to freaking know about it too. I'm riding.
Yeah, well, it's kind of, I think what's so weird is Sue L. Robinson, he doesn't give a fuck right now. She does not care at all as to when she's going to get her decision out, because obviously she would have already had it out by now if she cared about the Browns practice, but she doesn't care at all. So
and she shouldn't. That's really not her job to. It's really just to look at it from a middleman perspective. She's trying to work, the NFL and the NFLPA to come to an agreement rather than her having to play the principal of the group. But it looks like, she's gonna try to let them have a settlement, but the NFLPA and Watson's team look like they want to let her do her job. So who knows when it's gonna come, but at this point he's our quarterback for the next 5 years, so people are gonna have to accept it at some point.
Right.
Yeah, if the suspension comes, he's gonna play at some point either way, so we still have him.
Yeah, I mean he's on the back burner for now, so I mean we'll see how many games he gets. I know we're all kind of had our different what do you say, kind of perception on how many games he's going to get. I know some of you guys thought he'd get 8 to 12. I mean, I'm sitting here with 6, still riding with 6. So I think he'll get 6 games, but yeah.
How's everyone else feel? What are we taking? How many games?
And no, riding with 6 does not mean fucking Baker Mayfield. For everyone that went there, riding with 6 has nothing to do with Baker Mayfield.
There's just some Browns
Carolina.
fans.
I'm done with Baker. We're past Baker, except for Morgs. Everyone's past Baker.
I wish you the best, but we've moved on.
We've all moved on. Riding with 6 had no correlation with Baker Mayfield. But Morgs, where do you stand on just the whole Deshaun Watson thing?
As far as the trade goes, I think that was a Haslam thing. It's a risky move. There's so many ways it could blow up in the team's face. But if things work out with his off the field issues, he's a top 5 quarterback. He's good enough, and the roster is good enough to talk Super Bowl.
Yeah.
That's what's up, baby.
I mean, yeah, the thing is every year we look at the Browns schedule and we go down it. We all had our predictions this year about just our record at the end of the year. And every year I find myself just looking at each game and putting a W over the team we're playing. But then when the season comes, it's like, how the hell did we lose that game? And then our record goes from I had us at 11-5 last year, and now we're sitting at 8 and whatever. So it's I don't know. We all have us above 10 wins this year. Honestly, realistically, we probably won't get 10 wins this year.
I think my prediction's completely faulty.
Yeah, you have us at 13-4.
13-4.
But
I
I
just
mean,
think
so
I like realistically with the suspension, I'm looking at like I mean at worst like it's gonna be like some indefinite shit. He's gonna have to do like some off the field shit.
right,
But at like best like 6 games would be like a blessing. You know what I mean?
right, yeah. I mean, I have a funny feeling.
I
it's gonna
just
be
think
6 games.
I think each side's responsible, so you can't indefinitely suspend him. So
No, I don't. I mean, a whole year. I'd
Yeah.
be surprised if it was a whole year.
no. I'm just thinking the worst because I'm not expecting anything good.
I mean, as
I
a
think as
Browns
far
fan,
as
it's like you kind of gotta expect the worst.
yeah, I think as
Because-
far as making predictions, you have to assume he's getting suspended for the year, even if you don't think that's the case. When you're trying to make a actual okay, this is what I think will happen. Anything less than either 0 suspension or a full suspension is just speculation.
Right.
So I really think you kind of have to make 2 predictions with Watson and without Watson.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean, that kind of leads us into the whole training camp because I mean, he's still gonna get to play he's gonna play in the preseason, and that's gonna be freaking fun to watch. But the question
Yeah.
is like, as they approach camp today, just the rest of the training camp, it's like, how many first team reps are they giving to Deshaun? And then how many reps are they giving to Jacoby Brissett, knowing he's going to play X amount of games? At least 6. He's playing 6 games, at least.
I think it's wildly interesting because Stefanski said that he's just acknowledging that you can't control the uncontrollable. So, it looks like training camp has been 50-50 between the two. And I can't wait to see how much both of them play in the preseason period. I mean, you can't, at the same time, you don't want to have Watson hanging out there too long and then something where the fucking Browns, a freaking bald eagle falls out of the sky and lands on his head or something. Same with Jacoby Brissett.
And that's how he got suspended for life.
right.
They're
and
like, he
he's
killed
gonna
the
be our
eagle.
starter, so
I say preseason. Let's see what Rosen can do.
he'll
Dude,
play a ton, I
the
feel like.
whole, God, the whole
Honestly, the worst thing that could happen this year is Watson gets the full year and Brissett gets hurt early, because then
Thank you.
we're stuck with either Josh Rosen or Josh Dobbs. If that's the case, hold up.
or
If that's the case, this is a 5-win team, and the only
Dude.
reason I'm
No,
saying
no,
5
no,
is because
no,
that
No,
roster
that's-
is
fuck you with
that's-
this Jimmy Garoppolo bullshit. Just shut the fuck up
if
and
that's
walk.
the case, keep your eyes on San Francisco, because they already said Trey's the guy in San Fran. So Jimmy's
Yeah.
gonna be gone, or he's
It's
riding.
not,
my
worth
dynasty
it's not
team.
worth the money because in a year we won't fucking need that.
For once in my life, my dynasty team actually thanks Kyle Shanahan.
So that kind of leads
Give
us
me
into,
Lance.
into the training camp. So I mean, as far as Deshaun and Jacoby splitting first team reps, and then seeing Rosen play, and we even got Josh Dobbs sitting there too. There's a lot of guys. I mean, the quarterback room is pretty experienced. I mean, some haven't started more than others, but I mean, it's still a pretty deep room. So what do you guys think about like standouts during camp, and who do you expect to kind of like make some noise?
David Bell.
I
think
would
he's
say-
got- David Bell's got the Big Ten accolades, man.
Dude, I think David Bell's got to make some noise.
Yeah.
I do too, but at the same
He's
time,
Jarvis Light.
he can't really make noise when he's not practicing. And right now, we don't really know when he's going to be back.
Yeah.
So obviously, we want him to make noise. He could be a starter immediately. But right now, him and Schwartz both being down with leg injuries. That Michael Woods dude, his name is always popping up, and same with Isaiah Weston. He actually,
I was
Woods
about to
back
bring
from-
up Weston.
that's what I'm saying, dude.
Okay, where's Weston
He's
playing?
actually University of North Iowa or
And then-
Northern Iowa. Bear
And
with me
then
for a
Woods
second.
is from.
This is what he did his
Oklahoma.
freshman year. He's like a
Yeah.
6'3", 210 kid. His freshman year for Northern Iowa, dude put up 43 catches for 1,053 yards and 10 touchdowns. Every fourth touchdown or every fourth reception was a touchdown. Kid averaged like 24 and a half yards a catch. He's not going to do anything this year, but stash him on the practice squad for a year. See what he's got next year. He's
Yeah, it could
big and
become like
fast.
almost like a Marquez Callaway situation down in New Orleans.
Exactly.
That'd be really nice. But was he undrafted?
He was an undrafted free agent.
That's pretty crazy.
Yeah.
So I think another player I'm looking at is Perrion Winfrey, because I'm really intrigued about who's going to be on our interior D-line rotation. I know we got is it Taven Bryan, Taven Bryan,
Kevin Bryan.
Perrion Winfrey. Who else we got in there?
Jordan Elliott.
We
Tom
brought back
Elliott.
Jordan Day,
Okay.
which
Jordan Day or Sheldon Day?
for
Malik
what we
Brown, right?
Sheldon Day, my bad. For what we paid him, I mean, he's making what, 1-2 million as a rotational guy. That's a
Yeah,
great deal.
I heard it's kind of Jordan Elliott's kind of like final year is kind of making some noise, and if he doesn't,
Yeah, it's
Bro,
make or break
kinda
for
out.
him.
He's a guy we need to keep though, I feel like. Because we have like he's
maybe
solid.
for Jordan Elliott.
Yeah.
He's got to do something. I don't
Yeah, he
care how
hasn't really
big
done
he is
much.
if he
Like
doesn't do anything.
I mean, he's been good, I feel like. But it's like we keep, I mean, it's not like, I mean, I get it, but it's like every year we end up signing people and he just ends up not starting.
Yeah.
Whereas like now is the year.
I
where,
mean,
like, you
here, our
haven't
defensive
signed,
tackles were
like,
bad
probably
last
nothing.
year. So
Yeah.
if he wasn't starting over them, it's not like we were paying them a ton of money.
I mean, who'd we have? Malik Jackson and who else?
Honestly, I like
And
our
Malik
defense.
McDowell.
The one dude who just isn't even in the fucking league anymore.
McDowell, yeah.
He
I
was
mean,
a fucking beast, and that sucks that we lost him.
Yeah.
yeah,
That dude was
he
making.
had flashes, but
Alright.
yeah.
I mean, I think our interior defensive line, they don't have to play 3 downs, because if you think about that third down, it comes to like 3rd and long. If you put Myles Garrett on the inside, Clowney, Winovich, and then have your best pass rusher next to opposite of Myles Garrett, that's a pretty solid pass rush.
Yeah, I mean, what I'd be doing is,
Put-
probably Garrett on the inside.
You could put
with
Clowney and Garrett on the
Ryan.
same side if you wanted to.
The thing with Clowney is he's not great at winning one-on-ones. He's really good at setting people up. 100% the reason they re-signed him is because he's amazing at setting the edge and forcing the running back to bounce inside.
Dude,
With him, JOK is going to get 100 tackles. Without him, maybe 80.
Yeah.
Right?
I mean,
Like
I
that's
think
what he does.
people
When we
take for
got
granted
him,
Clowney's run stop.
Yeah, when we got him, like I was expecting like a lot of sacks, but then I realized I'm like, dude, he's so good in the run that like it's like I don't really care. Like he can get 5 sacks in the season, but like his
Would it
run
be-
force is unreal.
Yeah, would it be nice if he was a better pass rusher? Sure. But at the end of the day, like he's got a really niche role, but he's really damn good at that role. So
Right.
I think he had 9 sacks last year.
yeah.
A quiet
I
9.
think-
He did have 9.
Like
Which I think
yeah,
is like
like
more
he's
than he
still
had
producing.
the previous 3 years.
Right. So it's
Yeah.
like people almost forget about they forget it. They'll almost like watch him on like pass rush situation. They'll be like, "Oh, this dude isn't doing anything." They'll forget about his run stop, and
Yeah.
like it's like
I mean,
opposite of
bro,
Myles Garrett, you couldn't get any better. You
I
really
mean,
couldn't.
I think of games and I think like Miles did nothing and like we'll lose a game. I'm like Miles wasn't effective and I'll go look at it. He had like 3.5 sacks. So
Right,
it's like
yeah,
He
shit
does
like-
that all the
it's like,
time. You're just like,
you
this
don't
dude's not doing
realize it.
anything.
We're so invested that like it just like it's in and out of like my mind. Like it's
Right.
like
Yeah.
I
I'm
think a lot of
invested on
people
the
like
next
to,
play.
a lot of people like to focus on just like the best player on the field, and that happens to be Myles Garrett. When you're looking at one guy the whole game and he's 3 sacks a game is really good, but you got to remember that's 3 plays. So like the percentages of him actually like winning and getting a sack, getting a tackle. I mean, if your eyes
Are
are
we
on
talking
the whole
about Clowney
game,
now or Miles?
Miles.
Well, he's getting double teamed though.
No, I
He's
know, but
getting
I mean,
double
if you're
teamed, and I mean,
focusing-
he was still fucking shit up in the run, and
Oh,
he's
I know,
getting
but if you're
pressure.
focusing
It's
on
just-
one
yeah.
guy the whole game, obviously they're not going to produce every play.
I don't know. I mean, they get winded. They're humans, bro.
Right. Joe, what's your thought on the DBs?
I absolutely love him. It's really been one of my fucking lifelong dreams to have 2 lockdown corners again in
Yeah, 'cause
Cleveland.
I mean, your take on like Newsome and Ward, you like Newsome a lot.
Oh my God, yeah. I think just technique wise, the way his hips are, the way he is at the line of scrimmage. I think Denzel, a lot of his skill set comes from how damn fast he is, and he can bait and kind of make up a lot of ground on balls. And I think Greg Newsome is just always there from the get-go. And then you add in a 6'2" corner, Martin Emerson. AJ Green played a lot last year. I think they're going to be ballers. And from what we're hearing in camp about Grant Delpit, even Albert Breer went out of his way to talk about him, which, I mean, he's been hasn't been getting his respect the past couple years, rightfully so, because he hasn't played much. But that's awesome to hear that he could be a dude.
Yeah, I mean, people forget that he was originally expected to go in the first round, and it was
Right, dude.
the shock that we got him in the second.
Right.
Right. Yeah. I mean, who do you expect to play on the inside of the slot?
Question.
I mean, is that like a Martin Emerson role? Because I know he's kind of physical, he's big. I mean,
Are we all off? Like, so is everyone non-invested in Greedy Williams anymore?
No, we are. Hell yeah.
No, we are. I
Are
think
we?
it's more
Look,
likely
I
we
played-
see Newsome play.
I
the
mean, no
slot
one
than
meant-
Brady plays
So
outside.
you mentioned the DBs, but we haven't mentioned the name until I
He-
said it. So that's
he's
what I'm
just-
honestly, I
easy to
forgot about him.
forget.
I forgot about him.
That's what I'm
He's
saying,
just
bro.
easy to forget. People
Yeah,
throw him in there
but
when
he's
needed.
he's never there, and it's like his like 5th year. So all I'm saying is like, play this, shit, bro. He better dip.
Fourth,
it's
he
like-
was 2019.
But
He was our
still,
first
I
pick.
don't think he'll be here
that was
long. I don't think he'll be here longer than a year left, really,
Yeah.
simply because they value Greg Newsome really highly and they just drafted another corner.
Yeah.
But Greedy is definitely a nice bet to step in like he did against the Chargers. Him and AJ Green played a lot of minutes those games. And although they did score 40 on us and drop 2 bombs, those dudes showed out. And if you remember that offensive pass interference at the end that didn't get called, AJ Green was clamping. And I think Greg Newsome will start on the outside.
I think AJ Green's a beast. Yeah,
I do too.
I have no problems with him.
The oldest rivalry in the NFL is Cleveland Browns versus the refs.
It'll always be there.
Yeah, I mean, when it come late in the year, when it gets cold and like you're trying to get into the playoffs, you need DB depth because a lot of these guys are so fragile as far as staying out on the field that the more guys you have in the DB room that have experience, I think the farther and the better off you're going to be.
Absolutely.
So where do you guys think we stack up against like the division? Because if I remember correctly, Kev, you got us at 13-4. I got us at 12-5, and then everybody else has us at 11-6. 11-6 is more realistic. Not gonna lie, but like I said at the beginning of the year, I tend to put a lot of W's on the in the win column.
Right now,
Honestly-
I feel like I'd be thinking more 9 and 8.
With the
Yeah,
suspension
I agree.
looming,
I think
yeah.
with Brissett, we're probably
9 and 8.
is probably
nine.
about what we're hoping.
And that
for.
probably
My
does
total-
not get us into the playoffs.
Hell
No,
no.
no
fuck
fucking
no.
way.
There's too many good teams in the AFC to even go that way, unless it's like such a battle where everyone's like losing week in, week out, and it's
I've
like
been saying this for a couple
bounce
weeks
back
now.
deal. But
The only 2 teams in the AFC that we can confidently say will be bad this year are the Jaguars and the Texans. The rest of the conference, I mean, Jets might be the 13th, 14th best
I
team.
don't know.
And like if
I
Zach
don't know about
Wilson
the Jets. If Zach
Bruce,
Wilson is still screwing around
that
with Tom,
rosters, the roster around, look, they will go as far as Zach Wilson takes them.
I don't know why you're so
If he
high on Zach
improves,
Wilson.
if he gets better, I'm not. That's actually the thing. I keep saying if he improves,
he's on my
the
dynasty.
roster will be good.
I agree
The
with
roster
Cal.
is good around him. He needs to prove it.
I agree
He
with
does
Cal.
need to prove it, and he has the weapons now.
Yeah, that's what
They
I,
just
that's
gave
what I've
him
been
another running
saying.
back. They gave him another wide receiver. It's like, dude,
Yeah. He's giving me Wentz vibes.
His
8 Wentz.
all right. To make this
Is
to make
DJ
things clear,
Ozuma?
I like Carson Wentz.
I just think Zach Wilson needs to stop messing around with people's moms, and then he'll be all right.
Yeah.
But
He's gonna stay out of the media. He's too young. to
don't
be-
you tell that man he can't bang a cougar.
hey, as long as it's not a problem for the
He
organization,
went
like
to
he
BYU. I
don't
wonder if
need
he's Mormon.
probably is. That's probably
I
like his fifth
mean-
wife.
Yeah.
He did say he was going to
Oh,
be
he
a
didn't get
fan
out a
of
lot
Cougars
in
for life.
Utah.
You gotta have 3 wives.
Yeah. He's making the rounds. So so let's rank the division here. Okay. Let's not rank the records. Let's go by roster alone. Roster alone, where do we stack up in the division on
Are
paper?
we
Are we
Are we
taking in
assuming
like
Watson
play-wise?
plays, or
We
are
are
we-
taking into
play-wise?
account our roster. Deshaun Watson is on our roster.
But we're
Alright.
thinking like towards like the end of the season and playoffs. how
No,
bad-
we're talking on paper now, not record.
Browns are all the way. I'm taking every position group, not besides receivers against the Bengals and Steelers. I would take their receiving core. I
Okay,
would take
agree.
the Bengals D line. I would take no, I don't know about the
No,
interior.
I don't know about
D-line.
that.
Their interior D line, their D tackles. I would take their
That's
D
fair.
I mean,
tackles.
I would take the Ravens interior. Don't they have Michael Pierce?
And
I-
Calais Campbell.
Yeah.
I would say
Motherfuckers.
the best team. It's really, you could argue any one of the three.
Let's get this
as
straight. The
far as
I think
Ravens
I
at the
think the
very
best
bottom.
I think the best team in the division is the Ravens, and I think they're gonna win the division this year.
No, okay, that's with
I think it's
record.
Bengals.
Are
They
we
just
talking
made
about
a
roster
Super Bowl
on
and
paper?
then they improved. They improved their one obvious
Listen,
weekend.
you are not getting the point here.
The roster on
The
paper.
roster on paper, not record. None of that at the end of the year. On
I
paper.
still
Who do you have
stand
on
by
our team?
Bengals are probably the best team in the division.
Okay, why do you say that?
So they just made a Super Bowl, and their one obvious weakness was the offensive line, where they kept getting fucking killed, and they just heavily invested into it.
If you
So
go position group by position group, the Bengals, okay, I mean, debatably, one position group is equal, if not more, and that would be quarterback. They have a better wide receiver room
By far.
by far. You
Yeah.
cannot, no, you can't shrug to that. It's a
But
yes.
that's just it
no,
for
I'm
me.
saying that's a given.
Okay, but all the other position groups, it's Cleveland pretty much.
Yeah.
I mean, running back Mixon's up there now. We
No,
have
no.
the deepest. Hold up, bear with
Yes.
me. I'm thinking a lot here.
All right,
But
go
what do
on.
you
We have
bring
the
it up
deepest
for?
running. We have the deepest running back room in the league.
Fucking
As
meatball.
far as the top end, Mixon's
Facts.
in the same conversation as Chubb and Hunt.
It's facts.
DBs.
DBs, I would say
Marlon Humphrey.
Arlen. I mean,
Oh yeah, DBs I'd
yeah.
go Baltimore. DBs
Yeah.
I'd go Baltimore. I'm sorry.
And linebackers and fucking interior D line.
the
That
DBs in Baltimore-
defense makes them so much better, bro. Baltimore's
Yeah.
defense is just scary. You don't want to play Baltimore because you have to fucking play that defense.
I don't want to play Baltimore because I have to go against Lamar Jackson, and that's the only thing in the world.
No,
on the Ravens
Lamar
that scares
and-
me.
Bro, they got a bunch of fucking bad
and
Mother-
Mark
Baker
Andrews.
Mayfield just put
defense,
40 on
bro.
that defense.
That's a good fucking roster. And they
I'm
got
not saying-
Dobbins. They have Dobbins coming back. Gus
I'm not
Edwards
saying it's a
coming
bad
back.
roster.
They
It's
didn't
a
have
great
that shit
roster.
last year.
It's a
That
great
team's
roster. All I'm
Ravens
saying
are
is
the only team I think you can make the argument they were more injured than the Browns last year.
they
It's
100%
between those
were.
two.
Correct.
They're
That team's
100%
gonna
were.
be good this year, bro.
I think they're probably going to be the best team in the division, behind,
Me
either
too.
in front or behind the Bengals. All I'm saying though is the only person on that team that scares me and worries me is Lamar Jackson, because he's the only person every game I feel like beats
Mark
us.
Andrews? No love for Mark
I mean,
Andrews?
Yeah, bro.
Yeah,
Like,
Mark
You gotta take that into
Andrews.
account with Lamar.
I mean, dude, like, of
just
course, like,
throwing.
you gotta respect the stars, but like, who beat us last time? Baker Mayfield put up 40, and who beat us? Lamar Jackson came
that's
out from taking a shit and then came out there and threw a bomb and won the game.
No,
That's
for
what he
real.
does
If
for us.
that's
For
not
real,
the
though.
funniest story of
But
this
that's
past
like
season,
that's
Pulled the
why
Paul
like
Pierce.
it's not that big of a penalty for them getting rid of Marquise Brown because he just makes those plays and it really doesn't matter who you have fucking running
Exactly.
around on these.
I mean, they really only rely
Yeah,
on one.
Thank you,
receiver.
though. That's what I'm saying. The only person
but
who
I mean-
scares me is Lamar, because he's
All
gonna
right,
do
so-
that stuff every other play.
So let's go around. Each one of you guys rank the division first to fourth.
Roster wise, or who do we think is gonna have a better year?
Roster wise, not who you think is going to have a better year. We'll do that after.
Browns number 1, roster on paper.
Yep.
Bengals number 2, roster on paper. Ravens number 3, roster on paper. Then Steelers.
Okay, John Morgs.
I mean, I think you could argue almost any way with the top three, but I'm going to say Bengals
Agreed.
by the hair of their ass are the one, then the Browns. It's pretty damn close. Then Ravens, and then I think we can all agree that the Steelers have the worst roster in the division right now.
All right, Kev, paper.
I'd go Bengals, Browns, Ravens, Steelers.
So same as Morgs.
Yeah.
Okay, I'd go Browns, Bengals, Ravens, Steelers.
What's up, bro? You know,
I do got to give you credit, Ray. You did call the Bengals
Talk
last
about.
year. You did call that.
I'm talking my
This
shit,
isn't
bro.
Joe, this isn't a biased podcast. Come on, bro.
Yeah, it is. It's called
Alright,
Muni-Lot
so,
Madness.
This
what
is
do
a
we think-
heavily biased podcast.
Unrealistic.
We're all wearing Browns gear right now, and you're trying to tell me this isn't a biased podcast.
Just know that week 1 next year opening pod, I'm coming in wearing that jersey right there, and I'm saying 17.
I'm disappointed you're not wearing it today.
because we're still waiting to know how long, son. But he's coming. We're lurking in the shadows like Batman.
We know he's coming. That's the problem.
All right, so where do you guys see us finishing at the end of the year? Where do we finish at the end of the year, division-wise?
Third.
Third.
Behind who?
I think
the
they're
Ravens
Bengals.
winning it and the Bengals.
Ravens win the division?
Definitely.
Morgs?
That's what I'm thinking. I don't know though. I mean,
the Ravens are going to take them to the wire.
I mean, it's tough. It's
no.
tough to go. Like, I mean, the Bengals are a young team. It's tough to go like fucking right back the next year and like have like such a great year and they expect the Super Bowl. But I'm sure like that's what they're planning on. But at the same
Oh, no
time, we
doubt.
never fucking know. We're in such a hard division, bro. They're gonna be playing good teams all year long. So
Right. And I mean, I think I don't know. There's a lot of like there's a lot of eyes on Lamar Jackson right now in his contract
well, because
situation. I think he's going to have
he doesn't have a fucking agent.
that. No, that's not the reason. It's not the reason.
Dude, he's still on a rookie deal. If that dude had an
Because
agent,
they're offering him
he's
running
won
back
MVP.
money.
That dude should
he
have.
wants to win a
fucking
Super Bowl,
contract.
play out his 5th tag, and then get the biggest contract in the entire NFL history of all time.
Dude, he's going. Dude,
He's not
is
gonna
going
get
to have
that.
another
You see that.
MVP caliber season. That dude is going to get the biggest guaranteed contract. Like
Yep. He's betting on himself. That's all
he's
he's
betting
doing.
on himself, which is the gutsiest, balliest move that
Yeah,
any
it's
athlete
like
has ever
cool, but
done.
like still, bro. I mean,
I
either
agree,
way,
Kev.
either way,
He
he's
gets
still gonna
paid.
make bank. He's gonna make bank either way.
I
And if the
know.
Ravens were to give up on him, like after this year, like that, no way in hell that's
They're gonna
happening.
have to pay him.
For another like
Yeah.
5 years.
It's like a lot
We
of people
talked about this the other day in the group chat, and I know McAfee said something. Do you think part of the reason Jimmy was willing to give so much guaranteed money is because he's looking at the Bengals, who historically only give the first year of the contract guaranteed? Because they got to put the money aside in escrow. So do you think he's looking at this as a way to get, Lamar Jackson and Joe Burrow, try and get them the fuck out of the division and say, all right, we're just going to rack up the bill until you can't pay for him?
I think it's possible, but at the same time, I think the 230 fully guaranteed was just kind of plan B. You know, we heard Deshaun initially kind of rule us out, and then it seems like Haslam was like, all right, time to hit
It
the red
sounds
button.
like Russell
Go
Wilson ruled
22,
us out
30 fully guaranteed.
too.
What?
Sounds
Yeah,
like Russell Wilson ruled us out too.
I'm pretty sure
Exactly.
Russell Wilson ruled us out multiple times.
Could you see
Probably.
Russell Wilson going, all right, Cleveland, that's right.
No, I wouldn't want that ball.
Brownstown, dog pound, that's right.
No, I can see him do it because he's the amount of
He's a head
the
ass.
amount of dweeby
Yeah,
that he
Nick
is.
Chubb,
There's just about anything I could see that dude
Dude.
saying. He's so corny,
Fucking
and I
big.
love it.
I hate Russell Wilson.
As good as he is, I mean,
He's so dweeby, and I love it.
yeah.
Fucking dude, bro.
So
He's
who
the
starts in
corniest
Pittsburgh?
motherfucker in the league?
Who starts in Pittsburgh? Because Kev, you have Kenny Pickett going as offensive rookie of the year.
Yeah, there's no reason he shouldn't be. Dude's the best quarterback in the draft. Mason Rudolph, not really good. He's been proven to be, he's nothing but a backup and probably not even should be the second string to anyone.
Yeah.
And who else do they have? Trubisky? I mean,
Yeah.
was like what, the first overall pick in the draft? Maybe like second, third, a little later. But at
Third?
first, yeah, third, early pick.
Yeah, because Niners traded up to take Solomon Thomas, and
Yeah.
then and Bears took Trubisky, who they were going to
Yeah.
take it to anyways.
Which I mean, he showed like some signs of life. I mean, fuck it, they can try to make something happen. He won the Nickelodeon Player of the Game. Good for him. Was a bunch of bullshit.
That's the only word that matters.
The thing is, usually top
Like
end
the only thing that
quarterbacks-
matters, bro. It's like I just feel like talking about him. It just feels like it just seems funny. I don't know. I just feel like he shouldn't be the starter anywhere.
Well, with
I mean,
high,
you guys
high
have Josh Wilson or
with
Josh
high
Allen.
drafted quarterbacks, typically they get 2
Josh
shots.
Wilson.
Yeah, they typically get a couple
They
shots.
usually
It's-
they typically get
I
2
mean,
shots.
yeah.
Baker's on probably his last, and so is Trubisky.
Yeah, and this is
Ooh.
Trubisky's second shot because he was in Buffalo.
so I think he's
What are
gonna
you
get
do? Take
we
Josh
forget
Wilson?
just how bad Chicago was. Like,
I didn't really like
Head
Matt
coach
Nagy as a
was-
head coach.
Well, yeah,
Nagy
but when
was
you pick a quarterback,
egregious.
I mean, he's supposed to be the person that's supposed to like do something about that, right?
Okay,
I mean,
but the
not
Not
quarterback-
when you're defensive minded.
it's situation. It's
You
situation.
had-
If you go
had
to a bad
Tariq
situation.
Cohen, you had Tariq Cohen, you had that other running
was hurt?
back. That one fucking
Jordan
dude.
Montgomery.
No, who's the running back that is on
Jordan
Josh Howard?
Howard.
Howard, yeah.
Jordan Howard, he was good. Fucking Alshon Jeffrey was good for like a year or two for him. Like he had weapons. He had
Okay, but the quarterback
Graham.
or the head coaching situation was egregious. So
Let me
like
ask
they
you this.
set him up to
Defense
fail.
was
I don't know
good.
if he's going to work out, but I
and his
can
defense
tell
was
you
so
that Matt
good.
Nagy, no one was going to work under him. So
Quick
let's
question.
see what happens.
Quick
Yeah, and
question.
Mike Tomlin's debatably the best coach in the league. So he's
Hold
got
up,
the
hold up.
best. He's in a good situation.
Joe,
Do you think Mitchell Trubisky right now is better than Ben Roethlisberger last year?
No.
well, Ben Roethlisberger was throwing
I do.
duck deep balls and then dink and dunk 5-yard passes to Juju Smith-Schuster and
I think
Deontay.
I think if you're in like a 2-minute drill, I would rather have Ben because I think
Yes.
he's going to be more reliable. But as far as the previous 58 minutes of the game, I think I might rather have Mitch. And like,
Right,
I don't
arm
even
strength
like,
and
I don't,
mobility.
I feel like I need to shower after saying that, but Ben just did, the arm was gone.
that's what
Yeah,
I'm
arm
saying.
The arm
strength
was
and
gone
mobility.
going into the
That's the
year.
game now.
Exactly. And if you think Trubisky is at least a slightly better improvement at the arm wise and can maybe hit a deep ball occasional there, they didn't really get much worse. If anything, they've maybe gotten slightly little bit better or stayed the same. And they added some talent. They got Ogunjobi in the middle now.
The ceiling got higher and the floor
They
got
got
lower.
the best quarterback in the draft, bro. Kenny Pickett.
Bro, he would have went.
I mean, I thought Willis was
Bro,
better.
I'm
but-
best
honestly
quarterback
goes-
next year.
I'm gonna be surprised if Kenny Pickett starts, honestly. I think
If Kenny
I think-
Pickett doesn't start, then I'll be surprised.
I think he will eventually in the season, but I think
Yes.
Trubisky is gonna play 4 or 5 games starting on, maybe even more.
They're going to give him the Tyrod
I
treatment.
think they fucked up taking Pickett in the first round. Because
He's gonna suck ass.
I don't think he's that much better. I don't think he's that much better than what's his name? Who
Malik
went to
Willis?
Atlanta. No, he went to
Desmond Ridder?
Titans. Yeah, I don't think he's that much better than Willis. I don't think he's that much better than Ritter. And he cost a first round pick instead of a third. They probably could have gotten Pickett in the second round. Like, I think it's bad process because now you're tied to this kid. And let's say he shits the bed. You're going into next year where you've got 5, 6 guys who are being talked about as a first round pick. Probably 4 of them I would be comfortable taking over him right
Pickett?
now.
Yeah.
So I don't see it. I don't think the ceiling is there. And, you're going into next year where unless he just plays lights out, you're going to be sitting there wondering, well, do we stick with him or do we move on and take this kid who's way better? I think it's a
Yeah.
bad process.
Yeah. So I mean, bottom line, the Steelers are gonna suck. They're gonna
No.
suck this year.
No,
They're
we're
gonna
not
suck.
saying that. We're not
They're
saying
not
that.
they will never suck under
That's what I'm saying. I'm
Best-
never gonna say they're gonna
Yeah.
suck, bro.
The best fucking coach, like debatably the best coach in the
I
league.
didn't-
It's gonna
I didn't
be-
say nothing about Mike T.
I know.
said
I'm
They
just,
will not,
That's
but you're
his
saying they
team.
will
They're gonna
suck.
suck.
They
I'm
will
just
never
saying, that
suck
team,
under
their
Mike Tomlin.
defense-
He's
their
too
defense
good
is
at
gonna-
his job.
Their defense is going to be good. And
They
like
might not be
their only
good, but they won't
bad side of
suck.
their offense, their only bad side of their offense is like a questionable quarterback. And
They
like,
went to the fucking playoffs last year.
Offensive
because-
line isn't good, but
They went to the playoffs last year because our quarterback was a goddamn meatball, and we're gonna have Jacoby Brissett, who's not much better than said meatball. So who knows if they could finish fucking third and we finish fourth again? All I'm saying is I'm never counting the Steelers out because Mike T, like Kev said, is the
Yeah.
go.
we actually technically
He's
we
top
did not
five.
finish
Mike
fourth. We
T's probably the
finished
best coach
third.
in the NFL. We have two of the best coaches in our division, Jim Harbaugh and Mike Tomlin.
Yeah, and it's annoying as shit.
Stefanski better run his shit up. That dude's behind right now.
We gonna be all right. We got Daddy Deshaun now. He's gonna run everybody's shit
And
up.
talking about Stefanski, next week, we're talking about Stefanski close to being on the hot seat. Takes are coming in hot.
What?
Yep. With that being said, that is the end of our first episode of Muni-Lot Madness. You can find us on Twitter at Muni-Lot Mad. You can find me at OUOPEQ. Excuse me. Excuse me. You can find Kevin at Kevin.
How the fuck do you not know your own Twitter handle?
You can find Morgs at JPMORGS75. You can find Joe at
73.
Joe Rit 35. And that'll do it for our first episode of Muni-Lot Madness. We will see you next week.
Ooh, ooh.